Is Doc Rivers spitting or tripping with those comments?
I mean, I feel him. He does win a lot. He does win, but no one wants to like focus on that. I mean, it must be hard to find. It must be hard to like you do have success in the regular season and you get to the playoffs and then
you win.
You
three
lose.
Games. You win 3
and then
games.
everybody forgets about everything else and they always focus on that.
4 in a row.
Yeah, but you still have all the success prior to that. And everybody else lost too, but we only want to talk about Doc Rivers.
He lost 3 in a row.
Only
he had
one
3
team
1
wins.
wins, and then we
only one
proceeded
team wins, and every year everyone only wants to talk about Doc Rivers.
Cause you up 3.
Up 3. Good job, Swag.
You won.
That is on the level.
What's the record for that?
That is
how
on
many? How many? Like
13.
No, I'm talking about how many?
13.
13 what?
There's only been 13 teams.
That's what I'm saying.
There's
So
been
do we got the
13
record
times.
for that?
There's only been 13 times that somebody was up 3-1.
Oh, and blew it, and
lost,
he's part of 4 of them?
And he's done it 4 times out of the 13.
In the history of the
And in
game.
the history of the game. The problem is not that you lost 3-1. It's 3-1 is rare to lose.
Excuse me, I think he's blown 3.
Yeah, 3 out of 13.
3-3-1 leads.
It's a rare thing that happens. It's a 5% of the NBA. There's 260 times this has happened, and has only been successful 13 times. You're 3 of those. So you have a 95% chance of winning, and you've lost that 3 times. That's the problem.
Isn't that bad coaching?
Is it though?
How many series has he won? How many series has he won?
Statistically, if you have a 95% chance of winning and you lost 3 times?
Is it?
But how many
3 times.
series
3
has he won, though?
Let's think about it.
It's something that's so
When
rare
Steve
to
Kerr
happen.
did it, it was how amazing LeBron was. Nobody said nothing about Steve Kerr doing it in the championship.
Yeah, I did.
But yeah, one time. It's 3.
He was playing LeBron, though.
Who's the coach of OKC when they did it?
But it's 1. We're not talking about 1. When the first time it happened in 2003, nobody talked about it. But it happened again and then again. That's the problem. It's the 3 times.
And one was in the bubble where we all got
So if you take off Doc Rivers, it's a 3.8% chance that will happen. He makes it 5.
I get it.
He pumps it up 1.28%.
Which is crazy.
You had a guy, Playoff P, that turned off his podcast because y'all told him.
When?
We didn't tell him to do shit.
He didn't have no podcast.
No, but I'm saying that mentality. He heard Playoff P was struggling. He didn't get it together the whole playoffs.
They did start calling him way off.
He missed the damn shot that hit the side of the backboard in the game 7.
That's what the names during the bubble. Way off P, Pandemic P. It was
Pandemic P.
Unfortunate.
You had Playoff P.
He said himself.
You had, who was your other team you was with? It was Playoff P too.
Clippers?
It was all Clippers.
Tried to take ownership of the
But Doc Rivers' career in the playoffs, 113 and 108.
Blame. Who gets to blame?
That's what I'm saying.
For the 3-1. Did the players get to blame or the coach?
I mean, no, you can blame
You
him,
up 3-1.
but like give it a rest.
Total,
Damn.
what is it? Execution?
Like, give it a
What
rest.
is it?
Give it a
For
rest.
team, we always
Stop
talk
talking about
about
it so much.
adjustments, right? We talk about adjustments. Doc is the king of not wanting to adjust. Okay, to go down after being up
With
is
all-stars,
weird.
though.
It's weird to happen 4 times and then everybody's like, well, we got a chance. Even if they go up 3-1, we still can bring it back on these dudes.
I think that Nuggets series too, they were up like 17 going in, or late in the third quarter, going into the fourth.
Which is crazy because it doesn't have anything to do with the players on the court. Everyone's like, as long as Doc coaching, we got a chance.
Doc Rivers is the only coach in NBA history to blow multiple 3-1.
How much Paul George had that series against the Nuggets? After game 4. It was game 4 or?
4.
Game 5, 6, and 7.
Wait,
That's
did
what I'm
you
saying,
find
the
out
last
how
three,
many
I forget, the
series
last
he has
3 games.
actually won? Doc Rivers?
But that's what I said. The problem is if he loses, if they're going back and forth winning games, it's fine. But when you're
So if he like never won any series, but what if he lost all his series to 7 games? That would still be better than blowing 3-1 leads?
Yes, because 3-1 leads, it's a 5% chance. You have a 95% chance of winning this series.
All you gotta do is take it home.
That means
But he's not on the court.
that means he got Cinderella 3 times.
Yeah.
So in that,
you got beat
With
up in the ring.
all-stars, though.
All you gotta do is last in the ring. All you gotta do is dance around the ring for 2
It was
minutes.
with 3 different teams.
But you won't get your ass knocked
The
out.
worst thing, like, let's just imagine you've been whooping this person's ass in boxing. You got 10 seconds left. The only thing that beats you is getting knocked out.
Haymaker.
That happens every.
And you got knocked out 3 times.
No, but it ain't a knockout. No, it's not a knockout. It's a knockdown.
bro.
The knockdown is a win for the other team. So now it's 3-2. He done knocked you down.
It's more.
Now you're looking at the scorecards. You're like, hey, man, he get another knockdown. He might have a chance. It's 5 seconds left. Bah.
How much was it?
so you asked about PG in that 2020 bubble playoffs against the Nuggets. So game 5, he had 26, 6, and 6. Game 6, he had 33, 6, and 5 steals.
Damn.
But game 7, 10 points, 4 rebounds, 4 for 16 from the field,
So the pressure.
2 for 11 from 3.
So it's pressure. And
No, because that wasn't your narrative. You thought he fucked up game 5, 6, and 7.
shit, game 7, yeah, 10.
Okay, well, then who fucked it up game 5 and 6?
And Ben Simmons, he had Ben Simmons the last.
Who had 5 and 6?
I'm just talking about the players he
There
had.
ain't no Ben Simmons over there.
In
What are you talking
Philly,
about?
in Philly.
They didn't do that in Philly.
Yes, he did lose.
No.
He did lose in Philly.
Not 3-1?
I thought
No,
he
you
was.
just talked about the bubble. So the fact that he had 30 and whatever, name somebody else who was also on the team for game
Blake
5
Griffin?
and 6. Because it wasn't him game 5 and 6.
Blake Griffin.
Blake Griffin wasn't on the bubble.
Not the
So
bubble.
who else fucked up in game 5 and 6 then?
Shit.
Because it wasn't Pete.
Well, game 7.
So game 5 and 6.
So why was they saying playoff P then?
Huh?
Why was he getting talked about? Why was it
Wasn't playoff P a
There
good
wasn't no
thing?
playoff P.
Wasn't
Well,
playoff P a
that
good
was
thing?
pandemic P.
was the bad one.
That was
I thought playoff
pandemic
P
P.
was a good one.
There ain't
No,
never
it
been
wasn't
no
no
playoff
good.
P.
He said that, so they.
There ain't never.
Does he have? Are any of his
not even a
nicknames
such
positive?
thing. That's not a
Are,
such thing.
are any of his nicknames positive?
It was playoff
Shit,
P
20,
but during the bubble because you report.
PG-13. PG-13.
Yeah, that ain't positive either. That means kids can watch it.
Yep. It was nice. He was nicer. 24 was the killer.
It's nice, yeah.
You don't want to
I
be
want PG rated R. Motherfucker out here.
PG rated
Yeah,
R.
you about out here killing some. I want that Indiana. Or that one that showed up in
24.
OKC.
24.
Man, for real.
Oh,
But
man.
look though, ain't that on the players? You getting your ass whipped 3 times? Oh, the
Dang,
coach.
why is it only
No,
Doc's
man, you
fault?
gotta
Because it's
some
strategy.
It's your strategy.
And you gotta adjust.
Some people
We can't
quit.
keep going under on the
people
pick
quit.
and roll.
But some people
Go
quit.
over.
So you can't adjust.
Trap it.
You can't do that during the game?
No, not if I'm doing.
Oh, I gotta listen
the
to
coach
everything he
keeps
say.
telling me to go under.
No.
And we like, Coach, listen, he keep hitting the 3, hit 4 in a row. So what?
No, man, stop. Come on, man.
If anybody
Y'all
in
not
the
listening to no
Arizona,
coach like that.
anybody in the Arizona group chat, if you have my breakdown of what oh no, not.
So he only lost 3 in a row, 3 with Clippers. All of them was with
No, one with Magic, 2 with the Clippers.
Magic. With T-Bank.
03.
Oh,
Let me see it. Hold on.
They were up 3-1 on the Pistons shot.
I remember that.
Then 2015, they were up 3-1 on the Rockets.
Did he?
He said, I'm finally about to get out the first round. Remember that shit? I'm finally about to get out the first round. Got a motherfucking man. They said, all right. I'm going to show you.
Facts.
You don't say that.
See?
What Kobe say? What Kobe say?
He didn't have to
I'm
say
not
that.
done.
Hey,
I'm not done.
hey,
Didn't have to
I'm not
say that.
done.
But we gonna blame Doc for everything.
But what Doc do to stop it?
What did I do?
Well, T-Mac
Well, I
do
can't
to
speak
stop
on
him
that. I was
bleeding.
literally, I was like 6 when that was going on.
Send him a fruit basket.
Lexi, did that scar your life at all as a 6-year-old witnessing that?
No.
You went
I'm
on,
a-
went on to be
I was
a
happy
productive
as
member of
hell.
society, member of Gilbert, presented by Underdog Whoop Whoop, current Seattle Storm guard.
I was so happy, bro.
7th on the leaderboard in athletes
I thought
Olympics.
they was finally about to get out.
Now, if they have the message I sent,
Do you think, so the Arizona group chat is just watching the show right now, waiting to...
some.
I ain't
So
doing shit.
I sent a message during the 3-1 lead to Denver staff, and I want to see if they still have it.
But you sent it in the group chat?
No,
Oh, is there one person in the group chat who would have that message? Okay.
it says send this to Denver about Clippers and Doc.
The team they lost to.
So
How
you're
many years
responsible
ago? How
for
many
the...
years ago was
You're
this?
responsible for Doc blowing a 3-1
Years
lead.
ago was this?
Yeah, and part of the breakdown was this. I said they have 4 guys who are averaging 20-something, 18 coming off the bench. So this would have been Lou Will, and Trez coming off the bench.
Yep.
I said you got to treat them like lions, right? The faster you make the game, they all get to eat, right? They're not disciplined enough to sacrifice. So slow the game down to about 105 to 110, right? Meaning that they're going to suffer because they're not getting their numbers and they're going to try to be selfish. A half-court game works for a player like Jokic and Murray because now he gets to dictate the tempo. So the slower you make the game, it hurts Clippers. And Doc won't adjust to that and try to speed the game up. So how you win the next game, 5,
Game 5.
you will win game 6 and 7. Keep that shit around anywhere from 100 to 110. Once that shit starts going to 120, 130, that's Clipper Town.
So game 5, Nuggets won 111 to 105. Lou Williams had 4 points. Trez had 6 points. Lou Will 2 for 10.
Remember Lou
from the
snuck
field.
out the goal?
Yeah.
Earlier in the bubble.
This was in the
That was early in the
bubble.
bubble.
He had to go to a funeral and went to go get some.
Again, Montrez
wings as
and
well.
playoff, he was fighting. They was getting into it. They was all messed up, man.
Bitch
So
ass
if
white
you know
boy, I
the
believe
team
was.
is actively trying to
Yeah,
slow you
that's
down.
what he
What
called
do you
him.
do to not
was
get
about to
slowed
fight.
down?
He called him a bitch ass white
Like,
boy.
what's the?
You got to play your game, but I mean, but it's just something just watching. Like, when you have 4 scorers on your team,
Wait.
the slower the team plays, it kind of hurts.
He
who
called
they are.
Luka a bitch ass white boy in that bubble.
Luka.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luka was out there, motherfucker, 31, 9, and 9.
But that bubble was crazy, bro. Murray, how was Murray average? He was
He
killing.
was going crazy.
going crazy.
Yeah, they were down 3-1. They were down
Yeah,
3-1.
they came back.
They were down 3-1, came back. Murray hit that, 50, 42, and 50 on them.
Killing.
Yeah, I believe had a
He was out of his
Then him
mind.
and Mitch.
I even
40 piece in game 7.
There was
I
like
even-
what? There was like
Oh.
what? 5 or 6 of them that was just in a bubble.
I even wrote one.
Nobody had 40 in game
They
7.
was
Other one,
experimenting
how
with
much
the
Kawhi
rims
had?
and the magnetic balls that they had.
Kawhi was playing right.
Judge.
No, that was Donovan Mitchell. Where he had
Shut up.
Oh, no, that,
was
I'm talking
decent.
about
What was the
Murray
dude
had
from
40 in the game
Indiana who was
7.
going crazy? Who's not even in the league no
okay,
more?
J. Warren.
Like
How much
what?
Murray had against the Clippers?
So
so
game
crazy.
7, no, Murray had 40 against the Clippers. And in game 7, Kawhi had 14, PG had 10.
Come on, man.
Trez actually had 20 in that game off the bench, 26.
Somebody
minutes.
had 40.
That's what I
They
said.
star had 40, and your 2 stars got 10.
Yeah,
We
that's
gon-
slow the game down.
That's the coach fault.
We gonna blame
Slow the
Doc.
game
Exactly.
down.
We gonna blame
They
Doc.
slowed the game down on you. Like,
So,
you guys can't eat, fight.
and Gil, as you pointed out, all those games were in the 100 to 110 point range.
Say it again.
All those games were in the 100 to 110ish range.
What I'm saying, don't
Gil-
Kawhi play in a system
You
that's
have
slow.
to adjust as a coach to the slower.
You gotta know that if they're slowing the game down, I got my teammates, these motherfuckers started looking at each other.
Man, who gonna
There's
get the ball?
only a handful, but there's only a handful of
Two
teams that
people
could
supposed
slow
to
them
get the
down,
ball
and
in that
Denver was
game.
one of them. Not many teams could play like that and still score at a high clip because they
It
don't
only-
have a Jokic.
But you
It
think
only worked against a team like Jokic
Right, it
because you
only-
have a half-court guy
Yeah.
who wants
Slows
to.
it down.
That's his.
So they probably rolled the dice like, damn, if we face a team like that, which we don't know if we are,
How much
then they
Joker
did.
had? Joker had.
And they were still up 3-1, so I'm like,
Murray had
me work
40.
today.
There was no slowing. It was all cook.
What I just said the score just off the top?
Jokic had 16 and 13
Thank you.
assists.
16.
The Clippers scored
One had
89 in that
40,
game.
the other one had 16. You said it was Joker that won that game? It was Murray that
I
won
said
that
you
game.
slow the game down for Jokic to pick them apart.
he had 13 assists.
So we asked the chat,
Man, you
does
think
Doc
it was
Rivers
Murray
deserve
that
more
did it.
credit? 73%. What do you think they said?
no.
No.
Thank you. 73% said.
Like that's what I said.
Yo,
I'm
you
a like,
brainwashed them.
that's what I said. If Tommy has, it was the GM, if he has that original text message, you'll see what I wrote.
Tommy ain't got no job yet.
3-1. I said this is easy. I even text one about when they were playing. Oh shit, I did about Utah with Donovan Mitchell. I said keep Donovan Mitchell off his left side. I said he's a 2-foot jumper. All his power comes moving left. Everything he does move left. So if he goes right, he wants to snatch back to do his pull up, or he wants to go left. If you keep him right, he don't have the same explosion. So he's gonna somehow try to do these little underhand lays, try to spin through the. I said so. Just make sure everything you do is just push him right. You'll take away at least half his game, which will help.
All right, well, let's keep
How
this.
many of them teams went to the finals that beat them? So every time they beat Doc Rivers, they went to what, the Western Conference Finals or the Eastern Conference Finals?
2020 Nuggets obviously came back 3-1.
Yep.
We know what happened to them.
Yeah.
Hardest NBA championship of all time. 2015 was the Rockets.
Okay.
They did not go to the finals.
Yeah, he just got outsmarted that one. That was damn sure.
Yeah, that was.
And the Pistons.
Yeah, we gonna hack a Dwight if they hack a DeAndre Jordan. That doesn't sound like a smart move. If you hack Dwight and get them in a penalty, they're gonna sub Dwight out and put James Harden in. I mean, James, to give the ball to James Harden, he's a free throw baiter. You don't have a free throw baiter.
So, speaking of Dwight Howard was honored by the Orlando Magic, joined their Hall of Fame yesterday in a ceremony. Shout out to Dwight.